Can you hear anything? Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody.
It's no secret. It's plain to see.
It's the oh my seat, Kim, get closer.
Can you talk in here? Me.
Here we are.
Hello.
It's no secret.
Right now, Kim can't hear him. We're trying to figure out why.
You know it's true.
All right, we will figure this out. Hi, everybody. I'm so happy to see everybody here.
I love you.
Woo! Thank you for clapping. Thank you so much. We got a great show today.
We seem to me.
Great show.
Love the night. Only then.
Yes, that's true. We are testing new equipment. Look at us. We have microphones, but we don't have good shots. Kim, look at you in the shot.
In all time.
Talk in that mic.
But not
Yes.
everyone would agree.
Hello, everyone. Oh, there I am.
There you are.
Secret.
Woo! It's no secret. I love this.
It's plain to see.
Okay, I am going to.
Yes, I love you.
I am going to start with a little song. Do you want to back up just a little bit?
Love me.
Okay. Woo! Hello, everybody. If you see, I now have equipment, which is really nice. All right, I am going to welcome our guest, and I am going to actually ping her, see if she's there. This is the part that I wanted to actually get done beforehand and didn't, and here we go. Okay, this is for you, my guest today. Welcome to. What are you doing? Oh my God.
What?
She was looking at her phone. We're broadcasting. Do you want to do our opening song?
Sure.
Okay, get close to the mic. You ready?
Yeah.
Two fat people on a mic. Okay. Yes, on my. We used to. But here's what I'd like to do for my incredible guest today. Where do you go on Mondays when you want to have fun? Yes, where can you go on Mondays when your day is done? Well, Fireside Chat is where it's at. Come join us, one and all. Join me in welcoming someone who breaks down walls, Sandra Valls. Join me in welcoming Sandra Valls. Woohoo!
Wow, what a great, I've never had such an amazing intro. Thank you.
Thank
Hello,
you.
everyone. Welcome to Deborah Barsha Barsha Barsha. Hi,
Yes.
Kim.
Hello.
There is Kim, my huswife of 20 years. We've been together. She doesn't have her own microphone, so we're going to try to figure this out.
That's okay. I'm just
Can
going
you
to stay for a minute.
You're only staying for a minute?
I'm just going to stay for a minute.
Okay.
Where I get to talk to Kim as well. What a treat. I'm sorry. I will do this intermittently because
Are
you
you
know hot
having a hot?
flashes.
You're having a hot
Yes.
flash. Okay,
Thank
okay.
you.
I would like to introduce Sandra Valls
No.
proper.
I'm
Now,
not having a
listen.
hot flash. I just like my hair to be blown like in the wind. Like yeah.
Are you in Texas?
Thank you.
Or something?
Thank you.
Yes. All right. Where are you? What did you want to ask her?
Aren't you in Texas? Isn't it warm there anyway?
I'm in LA right now.
Oh, you're in LA.
Yes,
It's like
in La La Land.
74 degrees still, but
Okay, so it's nice.
it doesn't matter if it's like freezing. I get hot flashes, as you all know. You went through this.
Yeah. Oh, yes, we did. Now, we
you.
all went through the hot flashes. What we wanted to ask, and just Kim wanted to be here in the beginning too, because we met you very many years ago. The reason I asked you, what do you want to be called? Lesbian, Latinx, and I asked her to, tell me all these terms. But can you talk about New York City and how we met, first of all?
Okay. Well, that's going way back, Deborah, but I love
Yes,
it.
it is.
It was the early 90s. And my girlfriend at the time was Buddhist. And she was like, I have this good friend, Deborah, who's also Buddhist. And then I met you through her. And then you and I sang together, and you were like, I have a band. You want to do backup for me? I'm like, sure, I'll sing background vocals for you. And that was one of the best experiences still to date of my whole life. It was one of it's up there. And
So pre-comic, correct?
well, I was always funny, Deborah. Do you know this?
Yes, you were. You were always funny, but you never were. For those of you, I'm going to interject once in a while because Sandra's so amazing to go with me to all my little paths over the years. So I wanted you to know that if you've never seen Sandra Valls, I mean, she's been on HBO. She's, Showtime, Latin Divas of Comedy. If anybody's ever seen Latin Divas of Comedy, and the Pride LGBT Comedy Slam. She's one of the top 33 badass comics with Latin roots. So when she transferred, which we're going to talk about in a minute, from music, which she never really transferred, we're going to also talk about that, to being a lesbian comic. Let's remember in the 90s, they weren't out and proud, a lot of people, right? So
that was,
right.
So here's what happened. So I was singing background for you. I was going to musical theater school, AMDA, in New York, and I had majored in, musical theater and acting and the whole thing. And so then I meet your sister, Janice Barsha,
Our producer, Janice, do you want to show yourself quickly?
Hi,
or
Janice.
say hello? Janice? Okay. Janice isn't unmuting, but go ahead. There she is. So stay up here for this part of the story. So she meets my lesbian sister. It runs in the family. Janice and Deborah, lesbians. Go.
So I wasn't with my girlfriend at the time anymore. And so I meet Janice, and it was like, I'm in love with this woman. And then we did a long distance for like thank you. Janice, we did a long distance for 3 months, and I was dying. Janice lived in Boston, and I lived in New York, and we were back and forth. I was going on a Greyhound bus, and Janice would come visit me. And one day, you came to visit me, and you were driving away, and you were gonna just drop me off so I can take the train back to my house. And I said, "Keep driving." And I just stayed at your house. I just stayed there, and I was like, "I'm moving here." And so I moved to Boston, and Deborah was like, "What were you saying, Deborah? Like, what happened?"
I said, she left being a background singer for my band for my sister. Now she's it was like you were kind of like my pseudo sister-in-law or something all of a sudden. It was
all of a sudden.
I know.
So, well, not all of a sudden. I mean, this was a while, but it was all of a sudden. And it was like 3 months, and all of a sudden I lived with you. Whatever. And then I lived in Boston. And then
okay, so now talk about
together for a little bit, and Janice was also Buddhist, and I'm like, what's up with all these lesbian Buddhists? I am not about waking up at 6 a.m. and chanting some weird. And I was remember, Jan? I was just real like, this is crazy. I was very, very blocked off. And so that's why me and Janet, for a lot of reasons, we just didn't work out. So in therapy, Janice is like signs me up for a stand-up comedy class. I don't know if it was for like Christmas or my birthday or something. So you break up with me in therapy, and then I'm like all depressed, and you go, wait a minute, what happened to the comedy class I already paid for? And I'm like, F you, who wants to go to comedy when you're being dumped? And then I talked to a friend of mine. Janice is leaving. She's like, Janice, I'm not getting this wrong. It's true.
You just knocked Sandra off the stage instead of yourself, okay? Can you invite Sandra to the video? This is the story of their relationship. No, I'm only kidding. Okay, Janice, there we go. Janice, go to the two little ones down below and just get yourself off the stage.
Janice is like, whatever. So then I talked to a friend of mine. I'm like, I don't want to go to this comedy class. And he goes, no, go make more friends. You got to go make friends. Because when I moved to Boston, all the friends were Janice's friends. And of course, during a breakup, just didn't feel right hanging out with the same people. So I went to make friends, and the whole career came out of it. Thanks, Jen.
Oh,
That's a good
yes.
story. That's a good story.
I was like, wait, but Janice is such a great. I mean, Janice, this is why she's amazing. Janice came to my first ever comedy show where I was doing comedy about the breakup.
Oh, I think that is great.
And she was just laughing and everything. And I was like, oh, she's a sport.
First of all, Sandra is one of the few people, I will tell you, that you meet people in comedy, they're fantastic comics. They can't really sing, or if they sing in a way that, is funny, or they do a funny song or something. But Sandra's an incredible singer.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Coming
So
from Deborah Barsha.
I second
Aw,
that.
coming from
my
Kim.
lovely partner. Yes, you are. I wish you had a keyboard right there. So
I
you could,
know.
Yeah, what happened?
Oh, it's a long. I don't travel with my keyboard.
I know.
I should.
So what was would you say, do you do like Olivia Cruises for those of you who don't? You do Olivia Cruises as a comic?
I do a lot. Well, and the beautiful thing is that I do Olivia Travel, which cruises and resorts. And what is
Wait
that?
for the
Lionel
reactions.
Rich? What is
Those
that?
are the people reacting, and we love them for reacting.
Oh,
That's why I love this.
it. Thank you, people, for reacting. So I'm loving the laughter, because after when you do these things on screen, you're like, did that land? Is that funny? What's going on? So I do. I'm so honored, actually, and so lucky that I get to go to these amazing adventures and do my comedy. But what I'm luckiest that I love is that Olivia has provided a platform to where I can do what I love to do, which is mix comedy and music, like Bette Midler. I mean, I remember when I was 12 years old and I was watching HBO, which you shouldn't have been watching HBO. And I watched Bette Midler and I went, that's exactly what I want to do. And to this day, I'm like, you know me, Deborah, I'm still trying to marry those two things together because I love them equally and I love the genre. I love that whole cabaret-ish, like funny music. There's certain things that are not expressed in just mere words. It's got to have that song that heals, And so and Olivia has been so great that I have mixed those two things together, and I get to go to freaking Costa Rica.
Did they during the pandemic? What happened to Olivia Cruises? I mean, obviously they couldn't do it, or
well, I guess they were. I mean, they weren't doing it. Was
a
worldwide problem. I actually was had two trips, one to Tahiti and one to Turks and Caicos, and of course it got canceled. But now they're opening up again. I say I just because it's in October. I just did Tulum, and safety measures. People wore masks. I mean, it opened up again.
Did you have one of those Tulum huts on the water where they bring you? No. Where did they put you?
No. That's
just
not
the
in
cruise.
Tulum. No, it was not just a cruise. It's Olivia Travel. So that was a resort.
Oh, I get it.
And I also love that Olivia has embraced my spiritual side also, because every time I go to Mexico in like November-ish, October, I give a workshop on Dia de los Muertos. So like the Day of the Dead and how you can have an altar to your ancestors and people who've passed. And so that to me is marrying all three sides of me that I love: my spirituality, my music, and my humor. So, which all of it I think is is healing. I mean, thank you, peeps. Thanks.
You really are.
It's how to heal. I mean, Olivia actually, oh my God, this is a funny story. So when Trump was elected, I was supposed to go and do the Olivia on a Sunday, but I had another gig happen. So I said, no, I'm going to come in late. And then my performance was going to be on a Wednesday. I thought the day after Hillary wins. This is going to be one of the easiest gigs of my life. It's going to be a party. Well, as we all know what happened. So I wake up that morning going, no, I mean, the entire resort was crying lesbians. People with lesbians were crying over breakfast, like crying. And I was like, I told my girlfriend, I go, I don't know what I'm going to do. She goes, babe, you can totally do it. I go, how? They're crying the entire day. So I secluded myself in my room and I was like, I don't know how I'm going to make them
crying lesbians.
Crying over pancakes, like when you cry, like when you fall, like when you're 7 years old and you fall off your fucking bike. That is how they were crying, like I was like, this is going to be the worst night. And so I go to my hotel room,
Right.
my room, and I thought, no, this is when I inject and I
Right.
mix healing and humor and the whole thing. So I'm like, I don't care if they think I'm corny. I'm just going to do my, express myself and say, we can lift, and we, winter always turns into spring. And by the way, that's a Buddhist. Now I'm Buddhist, y'all.
Now she's
The years-
chanting.
Now
like
I'm chanting. Now I'm chanting. That was another story. So, winter turns into spring, and we can do this. And I sing songs, and that transformed my comedy. But the audience was crying. They were like, I come out, Sandra Valls, and they're like, golf claps. And I'm like, hi, and
that's your crowd, so that's really scary.
And they're crying in the audience. Oh, I was like, how?
But you probably sang something very profound or something.
I came out and I sang.
Do you remember what you sang?
The Alicia.
Sing a little, please. I love your voice so much.
I don't even know the words.
Just any melody.
Days to come. That even when well, I don't know what to sing now.
It's okay.
Well,
you do Stevie Nicks.
Somehow?
What?
Can't you accompany her somehow and just sing
Oh
something?
my God,
right now?
Kim's trying to direct the show.
Yeah, Kim, let's do this.
Let's do it. Come
No,
on.
we can't because there's latency on this app. If I play, it'll be
Damn the latency.
now Kim,
what's Stevie Nicks?
what is the name of this movie your phone is ringing at? Wait, let's hear it.
Oh, I think I have to get this. I'm so sorry.
She's going to go now. Go ahead. You want to do your Stevie Nicks?
I love Stevie Nicks. My favorite song is Dreams, but there's a song called Silver Springs that I love. You could be my silver spring, blue green colors flashing. I will be your only dream. You're shining on an ocean crashing.
Come on, everybody.
You say she was pretty, and did you say she loved you? Really, I don't want to know. I want to do.
You should do a Stevie Nicks one woman show is what you should do.
Stevie Nicks, how she's helped me in areas of my life. Like there's always a Stevie Nicks song. And to this day, I still don't know what some lyrics mean. Like if I were to meet her, I'd be like, what does this mean? Like, for example, you know that song, and the summer became fall. I was not ready for the winter. I'm doing Stevie Nicks. No difference at all. 'Cause I wear boots all summer long. I'm like, ew, why do you wear boots all summer long? Like, what? Like, I'm going to ask her, like, what does that line mean? Do you really wear what kind of boots?
Yeah, that's good. You guys see, when I see Sandra on stage, I saw you last at Town Hall, I believe. What was the name?
At the LPAC.
What is? Tell them what that. First of all, there were all these comics there. There was. She said, "Do you want to come to Step and Repeat?" I didn't even know what Step and Repeat was. Do you remember that? I said, "Step and Repeat. What is that?"
Step and Repeat is a red carpet.
Yes, I know that now. But what I'm saying is, you had red carpet. You had one of my lesbian comedian idols, Kate Clinton, who was also Kate Clinton.
Kate Clinton is so. Let me tell you, she made me cry. I have always looked up to Kate Clinton, and one time we were all performing in Provincetown. That's going back to the comment of it wasn't cool to be out in the 90s. And it was a handful of people that were out in the 90s. It was Kate, it was Michelle Ballin, Karen Williams, Leah Delaria, I think Judy Gold. I'm forgetting people and Suzanne Westenhofer. Anyway,
yes.
So I would go and see them in Provincetown, like amazing, and think, oh, I'm going to do this someday. And I did. So one time I'm back in Provincetown doing like Women's Week, and Kate invites us over to her house for brunch. And now I'm at Kate's house for brunch, and everyone's leaving after the brunch. Thank you for coming. And she pulls me aside and she goes, hey, you're really good. Keep doing what you're doing. And I went, and it made me cry. She goes, no, don't cry. And I hugged her and I walked like, I got like total validation from Kate Clinton.
And for those of you who don't know, Kate Clinton, Kate Clinton was 1976 was my 11th grade English teacher in
Everything
Syracuse,
comes around.
in Syracuse, New York, and she left teaching English in the 70s to be a lesbian comedian. Okay, that was not done. That was not
And
done.
now let me tell you, for me, that is such courage, because even when I came out, they were like, in comedy, they were like, don't say you're a lesbian, don't do lesbian comedy, and don't. This was like early 2000s when I moved to LA, really.
Right.
Because when I was in Boston, I didn't really take comedy seriously. I took it really seriously when I came to LA. No, don't. And I even had to explain when I would say my girlfriend, no, my girlfriend, not my friend, my girlfriend who is a lesbian. And you had to say all of that.
Yeah.
And now you can say my girlfriend, and everyone's like, fine.
I know it's very different. So you're like a pioneer too. I mean, you are.
I am you know what?
You are a pioneer.
Yes, I am. I gotta say, I think we all are kind of plowing the way. And, for me, it took me a long time to give myself the credit. Because a lot of the times, it's a long story, but we're like, no, it's unless you, and I'm like, no, what is success? There is big success and there's other success. And everything is, I'm doing what I want to do, and I'm doing it because I have to be my authentic self. That to me is success.
Now
I put in some Buddhism in there too. I
yes,
say,
you do.
Winter turns into spring, and then the people ask me, what does that mean?
Yeah. I want to talk about a couple of things. First of all, you pivoted during the pandemic when you were stuck in your house, and you did one of the funniest Facebook Live shows I've seen. I still remember you were in your sister's doll room where she collects these, I don't know what, dolls or
Everything.
something. And you had Viking hats on. And every week you did this on Saturday. And what you would do is sing versions with your sister with these Viking hats on of different songs. And we were so entertained because we were stuck in our houses and we wanted to see you. Did you have a good time doing that? And I want everybody, before you answer that question, notice that WeLoveSandra.com is scrolling across your screens. And if you want to go to Sandra's website and see what she's been up to and what she's going to be doing, please go there. Go ahead. Tell us about the Viking.
I have to update it. First of all, let me go back a little bit too. To be validated by you, I still look up to you a lot, actually. A lot.
You.
Like you to me are like the big sister that I never had. Like I'm going to get a little emotional because you really you have done your thing. You keep plowing through. When speaking of the pandemic, the reason Deborah and I were reconnected through the pandemic was because you wrote that amazing song that's on YouTube, We're Still Here, and you had me sing on it.
Janice did the video.
And Janice did the video. And I'm telling you, we all do what we can to heal the world. So thank you for that. And thank you for still keeping me in your inner circle. I really appreciate it so
Sandra,
much. I wish I live in New York so we can hang out more.
I know.
So did I have fun? Okay. So I was doing a play about Roe v. Wade in Austin, Texas.
Right.
I live in LA, but I went to Austin to do this play. And 3 days into it, pandemic hits.
Right.
So I'm at my sister's house in Austin, and it's okay because I'm from Texas. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to wait it out. So my sister and I have always liked to sing together and be crazy and stupid. And it started out playing records on Facebook Live so everyone can be kind of having fun and everything. And I said, why don't we do karaoke? Because we love to sing together. And so we put on these stupid horn hats that light up. And every Saturday we went on Facebook Live, like from 7 to 10 or something. And we sang karaoke, and we even had requests. Well, it snowballed into this huge thing. We had t-shirts, we would rehearse, we would have raffles. We actually got a StreamYard application, and then our whole, we got lights, we got a great camera. So every Saturday for months, it was from 7 to 10 playroom karaoke, and we sang and well together. I mean, we argued a lot because my sister's not a performer. She doesn't understand that we have to
She
rehearse.
sings harmony really well.
And doesn't she? No, I do the harmony.
Oh, you do. So she sings. You both. It's like runs in the
You
family.
don't even know who's singing what because she'll come in my lane and I'll go, okay, she's now singing my harmony, so I'm switching. And that's just how she sings the song.
Yeah.
And so she told me from early on, she's like, that's how I'm going to sing it. I'm not going to change. You deal. So I was like, all right.
Okay.
So Connie has fans too. They were sending
She
her
does.
gifts and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
My sister Connie and I had a great time. And I'm so happy that I entertained people because that's what we do.
I know, but I just want to get serious for a second. There's a couple of things going on in the world I want your opinion on. One of them is going on in your home state, Texas. Can you explain to everybody what's happening right now? And we had one breakthrough this week.
Is it with the abortion thing? Because
No, not just that's one thing. But now, let me just put this out there. If people don't know about Texas, there was a law coming up that was up, and it got passed where parents of transgender children, if they're minors, were going to be charged with child abuse because they're supporting their children changing gender into the body they want to be in.
Okay, listen.
It's hard. It's hard to talk about, because I want to hear your opinion on this. I mean,
I think for me, it's very important I think in a bigger picture, I think that people have to attach to their source. I think people have to go back to their source. And I think, as you know, as we're Buddhists, it is also a battle, I hate to use a fight because it's negative. It is an issue that has a solution in the spirit world if you believe that prayer works or that chanting works.
Right.
And I believe that right now something's pushing against. It is so incomprehensible to me that people are going to waste their time when there's so many other things to fix.
Right.
That they want to fix something that's not broken because of whatever beliefs because it's not about like being logistical. It's about your religious beliefs, really, seeping into with the abortion thing, with the trans thing, seeping into other people's well-being. I don't understand this.
Yeah.
Which, of course, is very important to vote and will vote people out. But it's also very important to really get, and I believe it's happening, as human beings, to get in touch with source, with your higher power or your
mission, your karma.
Your mission, your calling in life. Why are we even here? Not to tell me that I can't live my life. I gotta say, I have Texas plates in my car because I was stuck in Austin the whole pandemic. So I just started to live there because things shifted during the pandemic and I roll with it. And driving here and even here in LA with Texas plates,
I know.
I kind of feel like, oh, please. Oh, no. I want to explain to people. No, you don't understand. There's really cool Texans too. I'm still proud of the Texas people that I know. Texas is a big state. It's not like this is how Texans are.
Right.
And it's hard to explain, obviously, because, all of us are clumped together.
Right.
No, not all of us are clumped together. A lot of us are still fighting the good fight. And there's just a few who have drank the Kool-Aid that I know. But then again, here's the thing. If you believe what you believe, then you envelop the issue with more chanting, with more spirituality for me.
Yeah. No. That's great, Sandra. So fantastic. Before all this happened, when you were doing, let's see, you also played Frida Kahlo, didn't you?
No, I played Tavela Vargas, her lesbian mother.
Oh, I forgot about that. But it was a show about...
You got me all riled up. You were talking about... We were going so well, and now you threw in the Texas issues.
I'm so sorry. But I know, you have to... Listen, I know what those hot flashes are like. Those were not fun.
Yeah, under stress.
I know. I just want to... I want when you get accolades like this, I want to know what, so you're traveling along and then all of a sudden in 2017, Curve magazine included you in the 2017 Power List as one of the most influential queer women in the country.
Yeah.
When you get an accolade like that, I mean, we shouldn't listen to all our own press, but that's like giving you kudos for, being brave in an arena where not a lot of people are brave, right?
Mhm.
Standing up, making people laugh in that arena and getting recognized in a magazine like that. I mean, that has to feel amazing.
It does. I that is just a bigger accolade that is a recognize a recognition and appreciation. And again, going back to accepting a compliment or accepting positive energy, I think a lot of us go, "Oh yeah, well, that's nothing." No, it's something. It's something. Somebody thinks that, and so
Right.
whatever I'm doing works. Now, it doesn't mean that just because you're not recognized, it doesn't work. It means that the universe is saying to me at that moment, "See, okay, this is what's going on. So stop doubting yourself."
Right.
I get recognition that way, not recognition or validation, whatever word you want to use, gratitude shown to me, even by people that say, "Hey, I saw, your Latin diva, or I saw this, or I saw you over here, and you really changed my perspective. You
Right.
really changed. I came out to my mother or my tia because I saw you on TV doing your thing." So to me, even though all the damn hardships, because we all know that I could be more prosperous and more abundant, it's cost me. It's cost me.
Right.
Okay, it's sacrifice. It's cost me. I mean, it hasn't been smooth. But to me, I'm like, and you know how the whole thing is like, even if I touch one life, excuse me, that makes a big difference.
It does.
It is a
And
huge difference. If I was a doctor and I had the cure or I could help people, I would help them. I am a spiritual doc. Through comedy, through whatever we have, all of us are healers. And so for me to have somebody feel something amazing or feel empowered or reminded of their goodness, simply because you're doing things, what's that, Marianne Williamson? Simply because you're shining your light, you give others permission to do the same. People like you have done that for me, Deborah. People like, other people that are just doing, Stevie Nicks, who's just Stevie Nicksing, has done it for me. She didn't quit. And so if I could, this is what the world is about. If you can transform or keep the energy flowing through whatever goodness you share, I think that's important. When people come tell me, "You got me through chemotherapy because of your jokes or because of your dumb, stupid, you know, uh, Instagram posts," excuse me, like
right.
whatever it takes. Other people have gotten me through some down times by either a little quote or a little show or a little something. And
Yeah.
so all of us are part of the big puzzle. And if we're not doing what we said we would do in this world, you're missing that piece. Ever do a puzzle and you're missing a piece? You're like, "I freaking worked really hard on this damn puzzle. Where's the fucking piece?"
You
It
know,
ruins the picture.
yeah. And the other thing is you also, not just from fans and people around the world, but when I saw Melissa Etheridge on the stage with you and then what she said to you backstage, which you told me, because you sang a song that night.
I sang a song and okay, first of all, we were backstage and she is going after me. And I had
Right.
my selfie stick ready and all the other comedians were making fun about me and my damn selfie stick, whatever. So I said to her, "May I have a picture after my performance?" She goes, "Sure." So I do a 10-minute performance. I sing a song. I come back and she goes, "You were really good."
Oh my God. That's Melissa
And I
Etheridge.
went, "What?" And I go, with my selfie stick, I motion and I go like this, like, "Now a selfie stick?" And she goes, "Sure." And I'm like, "Oh," and all the other comics are like, "Holy crap, I want a picture too." I'm like, "Really?"
See, now
Yeah.
they're not making fun of you.
Now they're not making fun of me.
Yeah. But
I've
one
always
one
been
of
the
the other
nerd or
things that I
whatever.
love is that you make fun, like in the Latina Christmas special that I saw off Broadway with you, and you created that at the Soho Playhouse, right? And who were your other co-stars? That ran. How long did that run? That I saw it. It was right before the
I
pandemic.
I created that. We created that in 2013. That was like, I want to say 20 shows. Was it 20 shows? It
Yeah,
was. It was a
it
lot
was
of
a
shows.
good Broadway
You know,
run.
off
Yeah,
Broadway, but
I'm
it
sorry,
was
off
at the
Broadway.
Soho Playhouse. But we had been doing that play and developing it since 2013,
Right.
and it is called Latina Christmas Special, because growing up Latinx early in the 70s and 80s, thank you, we didn't have any. I mean, we had Bob Hope and Carol Burnett and everyone. We didn't have our own Latina special. So it's not a variety show, but it is a story of our lives. It's three monologues, like three one-woman shows in one.
Yep.
And it's me growing up in Laredo, LGBT, like, in the 70s with Farrah Fawcett and, Knockers and 8 tracks and Christy McNichol and, bringing it all in and like,
Jodie Foster. Let's not
Jodie
forget Jodie.
well, Jodie Foster, yes, yes. Which, by the way, I met and was amazing.
Oh my God.
So it's about my life, and it's at the very, very end there. It's how I've grown up and how I actually took care of my mother who passed 15 years ago, but I was the caregiver. And basically, it's not what you have to do; it's what you get to do, and about gratitude. And my piece is about that, and so it's very emotional, but it's very funny, and it's
Very
got music
funny.
too.
I saw it. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, we're very proud of that play.
Have you now? There's a lot of things you've hosted, and you get called to host things. Before we go any further, because I do want to take questions from people. So if anybody really does want to come up and speak, Janice will bring you up if you raise your hand. And the way you do that is hit the two little white lines on the bottom and ask to speak. Some of the varied things that you've hosted: TEDx Women in Medicine, Lesbian Health Fund Congress, San Antonio LGBT Chamber of Commerce Coming Out Day, La Femme Film Awards, 11 years in a row, Power Up 10 Amazing Gay Women and Men Gala, and GLAD Awards, and the London Lesbian Film Festival. That's just a few. So as a host, for me, like, that's giving back too. You're a host, but you're also giving accolades to the people that you're introducing. And do you find that that's a nice pigeonhole, isn't it, to be in?
I like it.
Yeah.
I like that they chose me to keep the show running and keep it together. It's a lot of work to be a host. I charge way more to be a host than just come on and do my thing. It's a lot of work, but it's an honor to to be the glue that holds a show together. I am going to host Creating Change for the second year in a row conference this weekend. Actually, it's virtual. We were supposed to have it in New Orleans, but the pandemic, Omicron, and now it's online, and I'm hosting it for 2 days on this Saturday and Sunday coming up, and it's creatingchange.com.
Okay.
I also have an opportunity there to. How many times have we been to an award show, to any show, and we're bored beyond?
Right.
We're just bored because it's like, and coming up next, thank you for that. This next award, and I'm like, oh, well, you kind of have to kind of switch it up. And so for me, I'm so grateful that I get asked to do hosting. That means somebody trusts me with their project.
Yes.
To keep it going and keep it. La Femme Film Festival, actually, which happens every October. It's actually 14 years that I've done it, longer. That is like an award show that, again, they get boring.
And you want to make them exciting.
And you want to make them laugh, and you want to, I do everything but twirl a baton.
Twirl. But listen, can you get some of these really funny, like what you're working on now, when you went down the rabbit hole with me about it. And then please, Janice, you can start bringing people up on stage if they're asking. The wonderful thing is somebody came to you and asked you to make something funny that nobody thinks is funny. Can you tell everybody what this project is you're doing now?
So
and go down the rabbit hole a little, and then we want to do questions.
This is the beauty. Like,
I'm going to shut my shade. It's coming in light. Go ahead.
Shut the shade. Like, this is the beauty where, and you don't know where this career is taking you. Like, you start out in one thing, then you're singing, then you're like hosting, then you're also doing this. But somebody approached me and said, I really loved your performance at the Ford Theater, because I performed at the Ford. The LACMA, the Los Angeles Contemporary Museum of Art, approached me and said, we have an exhibit called Mishpantli, and it is about the time, space, and the origins of indigenous Mexico, like the Spanish Aztec War. They're not calling it a conquest because a conquest has too much baggage. So the invasion of the Spaniard with the Nahua, with the Aztecs, and we want you to make it funny.
When you told me that, I'm like, wait a minute, hold on.
So, I'm sorry. They're like, we want you to take our exhibit and talk about the artifacts and the maps and all that, put it together into as if you're talking to a middle school classroom, but we want you to make it funny. And I was like, how do I make the Aztec invasion funny? There's nothing funny about slaughtering or even human sacrifice. There's nothing fun. Well, I'm saying, I was like, okay, it's not funny, regardless of what you think of the Aztecs, which are actually the Nahua. Regardless of what you think of them, how the Spaniards just come in, take over, kill all your people, and tell you to believe and you believe. That's upsetting. Like,
But you found a way. You had a little
I
dope.
have.
You have found a way to
I
do
have
it.
found a way to express and explain the artifacts and talk about, with inserting humor, not making fun of, but inserting humor about, about this culture and the civilization, which is actually amazing. I've learned a lot. I'm like an Aztec scholar now. I dream of the Aztecs. I am enthralled. I feel very smart.
This was really good because you learned something about something.
It's a new skill. It's a new skill that I'm like, I can come to your museum and make whatever exhibit funny and relatable. This is the thing that even if I ever go to a museum, Deborah, come on, you're a very smart person. So am I. But I go to a museum and I feel like an idiot. I'm just like, I don't fucking, not only do I not know this, I don't care. I don't care.
Well, they
looks like my 10-year-old nephew took a Sharpie and just made a picture. It's horrible. But this is what the Florentine Codex looks like. This is what these are.
Wait, the Florentine Codex.
Yeah.
I don't know if a lot of people know what that is. Can you just tell us what the Florentine, and maybe there's some Florentine joke. No, go ahead.
Maybe you've heard of eggs Florentine. You've heard of Florentine cookies. Please welcome the Florentine
Codex. But it's some kind of a language?
It's a manuscript. No, the Florentine Codex is like an encyclopedia of 12 books. It's illustrated. It's got like 2,000 to 4,000 pages of this amazing artwork and the Nahua, the Aztec are telling you from their point of view about their culture, about their divinations and omens, but about the Aztec War, they're telling you in their words what really truly happened on book 12. And on one side is it written in Nahua, on the other side is written in Spanish. And this codex, of course, was written, it's so amazing, it was written during the quarantine also. I'll get on, I can talk to you about it for hours. It's so amazing, but it's their point of view about their culture that lived on. And the amazing thing is that they decided to quarantine themselves while everyone else died, so their word can live on. And it's called Florentine Codex because it was gone for like hundreds of years, and then it ended up in Florence.
Unbelievable. We could go down. Look at it's 5:43.
Yeah.
Deanna, did you want to ask Sandra a question or
Hi,
comment?
Deanna.
That's Deanna right there. She has her own show on here too. Go ahead, Deanna.
Yeah, and so I don't really have a question, but I do have a comment because my show is called Laughter After Trauma. And so I just love that you have like somebody up here who has taken social issues and been able to put them in a light, share some light, shed some light, but also, not make it heavy, keep it light, and that's how I feel about trauma. I mean, people start to identify with this stuff. And instead of doing that, we can bring awareness and acceptance, and we can coexist, and we can do it all, even with laughter and music. Deborah, I mean, I think Barsha Barsha Barsha, that you definitely bring another lightness to topics like this. I just love it. So I appreciate you.
Thank you, Deanna.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Deanna. That's great. And if anybody else, we're in that time period now. If anybody else has a comment or wants to come up and speak or talk to Sandra, please, please, please raise your hand with the two little white lines at the bottom, and we will bring you up. I just want to, while we're waiting, because we usually go 45 minutes, I'm going to go a little bit longer because people are asking me in the channel if you'll sing again.
Okay.
Is there something? I mean, first of all, can we acknowledge that Sandra doesn't even have a piano with her, and a cappella? To sing a cappella is like, you got to understand that takes balls. Okay, that's what I'm saying. So, I mean, it can be a Stevie Nicks. It can be one of your songs that you wrote that was in the Latina Christmas special that I loved.
I didn't write that song. Actually, her
Well,
name
who
is
was that?
Peter
Who wrote
Mayer.
that song?
Peter Mayer. There's two Peter Mayers. One that's super, super famous, and this other one that's just not super famous. And he wrote a song called Holy Now. And I love this song called Holy Now, basically saying that there's miracles everywhere if you look for them. You know, you have to look for them, and or they'll present themselves to you. Like, anyway, I'll sing a little bit of that, and then
Good.
it's not a religious song. It's actually anti-religious, but it goes, when I was a girl each week, on Sunday we would go to church, pay attention to the priest. He would read the holy word and consecrate the holy bread, and everyone would kneel and bow. Today the only difference is everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Then I went to Sunday school, and we would learn about the time Moses split the sea in two. Jesus made the water wine. And I remember feeling sad, 'cause miracles don't happen still. But now I just cannot keep track, 'cause everything's a miracle. Wine from water is not so small, but an even better magic trick is that everything is here at all. So the challenging thing becomes not to look for miracles, but finding when there isn't one. When holy water was rare at best, it barely wet my fingertips. Now I gotta catch my breath, 'cause I'm swimming in a sea of it. There used to be a world half there, heaven's second rate hand me down. Now I walk it with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now.
Oh! That
Thank you.
okay. I don't even know what we can say after this. That is just such a. Is there anyone who wants to come up and talk to the great comic and singer and author and host and actress Sandra Valls, representing us in the gay community, representing us in the Latinx community, representing us in so many ways and with a purpose on this earth. So, yes, I really want to thank you so much. I just want to say one last thing before we end, and I thank you, Sandra, because that was amazing.
That you're casting me in one of your plays, that I would love to come and
I
live
will.
in New York.
I just want to say Sandra played a Christmas tree
Oh my God.
in one of my plays.
No, I played a box.
Oh, you played a trash box.
Trash
That's
box.
right. I have a children's musical called The Most Miserable Christmas Tree, about a Christmas tree that wakes up in the trash and goes, "What's happening?"
And I'm the box friend. I played the box friend.
The box that's in the trash, and she's
Yeah.
telling him, I actually. Anyway, we have a reading of that coming up. If you weren't in LA, you'd be here doing it again. Box trash. But
I can make my way there, Deborah.
okay. I have an LGBTQ song that I did. You know what my song is. I'm not going to do it now on your broadcast, but I will do it. Really?
Do it.
All right. I have to. I will have to lip sync to it, but this is from one of my shows called
Lip sync
Yes, I'll have to lip sync.
to your own song.
Yes, I'll have to lip sync to my own song, but it might come out because it's on track and I want to lip sync to it because I got to act it out,
Okay,
But
act it out. Go ahead.
Okay, all right, but you can react to it as I'm doing it. But I want to say that some of us, I tried to have a child with my partner, and my show, we didn't have a child, but my show The show is called A Womb with a View. Thank you. And this is the opening song. The opening song, I'm going to try to lip sync effectively to A Womb with a View, and it's called Wanting Babies. Okay, here we go.
Can we talk about dykes? Dykes, wanting babies. You want to hear about dykes? Dykes, wanting babies. Let me tell you about dykes. Dykes, wanting babies. Shopping for the sperm online. Step 1, log on to the bank of your choice. Step 2, do a search, find a match and rejoice. Half Italian, half Jewish, green eyes, 22. You can even pick out the size of your shoe. I need a man, dykes, woman, babies. Just a couple of man, dykes, woman, babies. And the best you can, dykes, woman, babies. Shopping for the sperm online. Brown hair and about 6'3". I can choose his color and his ethnicity. I don't need to know his number and I'll never know his name. All I need to know is donor 405 has got game. Just give me that man, dykes. Babies, give me more of that man, dykes. Wanting babies, it's all part of the plan, dykes. Wanting babies, shopping for the sperm online. Donor profile, donor essay, overall health step summary, height and weight, skills and hobbies, these are the things you can download for free. But if you want to see his picture at 3, or his grandparents' medical history, or hear his voice or know his GPA, keep your credit card handy, you could be here all day. Can we talk about dykes? Dykes, wanting babies. You gotta love those dykes. Dykes, wanting babies. And I'm one of those dykes. Dykes, wanting babies. Shopping for my sperm online. If you need to stock up and keep it in store, scroll down, point, click. Order some more, and 2 days later, you'll be at your door. Just to drop in a cup can make a family of 4. Mom sperm is now in fashion. Mom sperm is all the rage. Mom sperm, put your cash in. History's turning a brand new page. So if you feel you're ready for a change in lifestyle, get on the internet and make your wife smile. Federal Express will arrive in a while, carrying your future child in a vial. Gotta have it, I need a man. Dykes, wanting babies, gotta have that man. Dykes, wanting babies, and the best you can. Dykes, wanting babies, hoping to confirm they're going to full term, shopping for their sperm online.
I love.
We are dykes wanting babies. We need sperm. That's the facts.
I've never heard a song that has the word sperm said so many times.
Thank you. All right. Final thing I want to say. Can we all? We've got it. We just did a song called Dykes Wanting Babies live on YouTube. I just want you to know that. Okay. I want you all to join me in clapping for the great lesbian Latinx comic. You don't even want to say comedian. Comic, singer. And let's just say before we leave this show, the California Senate presented Sandra with a certificate of recognition for her relentless support of people in recovery of the LGBTQIA community, as exemplified by her leadership in producing One Gay at a Time, a comedy show that celebrates people in recovery. Sandra, you are an amazing person. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, everybody, for joining.
We love you so much, Sandra. Keep on doing it. Keep on doing it.